Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 112, being recorded live on April 11th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor, and this week I'm of course joined by Anthony. How are you?
Good. Why are there two Ethans?
I don't know. Why are there two
What
Ethans?
the hell?
One of them
Wait
is
a
just not
minute.
enough, apparently.
One of them's
Alright,
supposed to be me, but whatever.
you know what? I'm joined by Anthony, but I'm also joined by Andrew, as usual. Hello, Andrew.
Yo, what's up?
Nothing much. How have you been?
You know, just around the house.
Around the house,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Where
in
else would
mine.
you be?
Yeah.
like most of
It's
us.
pretty much life right now, right?
Yeah, well, I hope for most people, right?
Yeah. Statistically speaking, 75% of the world, so...
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What have you been playing to pass the quarantine days?
Oh man, I've been dabbling a lot lately. Let's see. Oh boy. I played Resident Evil 2. I started that one up again because
Nice.
Resident Evil 3 came out and I was like, I should play the old one.
Nice.
So I'm like a couple hours in that. That game's cool. Should probably beat that game, hopefully this time. I played a lot of Nope. Warzone. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played a good amount of
Battlezone?
Warzone. Yeah, I
What's
don't
a
know.
Battlezone?
Battlefield, whatever bad name games. I played a lot of Warzone. I got like third place with my team the other day. I was really close. It's kind of a
Nice.
bummer, but also really cool. Game's fun. I really like that. It's kind of lame. They nerfed some stuff. Like they made like loadouts cost like way too much money now.
Mm.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of a bummer.
I
But
They,
still pretty fun.
I think they also added in like you have to pay to revive people now as well, whereas you could do it for free.
No, you always had to pay
Oh,
to
okay,
revive
sure.
people. So that's
Why does
normal.
everything cost money?
Yeah, right. And then I dabbled in. I played CS:GO the other night.
Oh,
Fun.
nice.
I'm watching a lot of Valorant, so I was like, I should try to see if I could actually play this game. So I messed with CS:GO, just bots.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But that game's okay. I take it back. It's not bad.
Okay.
So
That's how they
maybe
get you.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Get
mess
ya.
with it. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see.
Honestly, it was a bold move just to try it in the first place. The entirety of CS:GO is just so intimidating to me. I don't think I would ever even pick it up.
Well, even when playing against bots, it's like pretty easy because you can just be like, oh, okay, I can pretty much buy guns every time. I think in the bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I can just mess around, and, like get used to the guns and get used to the movement and like how to shoot.
Yeah.
Which is
The
different
one
than any
thing-
other game I've played.
Yeah. The one thing is that like the bot matches and the casual matches against other people, they don't really do a good job of preparing you for what you'll experience in a normal like competitive game.
Mhm.
So, just trying to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to casual matches if I ever do
Okay.
actually branch out in that game because.
You see, that's kind of, although it eventually like devolves into something else, right? Because my friends and I started playing in like 2015, 2014 or so, just like the casual matches, just kind of like trolling in the casual matchmaking, just kind of for the memes and everything. And then it's like, oh, my friend and I started playing like really competitively on the comp game mode. So
I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just, it's just so hard to deal with.
game is
but-
difficult.
Yeah.
Game is difficult.
I don't know. I was like messing with like how to shoot and stuff. I'm like, oh, you want to like crouch? You just want to like tap, feather the button? Like it's pretty weird. So I gotta figure it out. Maybe I'll mess with it more. We'll see.
Okay.
I think that's it. I mentioned I bought Breath of the Wild, so I'm gonna probably jump into that. Animal Crossing. I
Nice.
think my village is probably taken over by weeds now because I haven't played it in a few days.
Nice.
So yeah, games, they're happening.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Anthony, back to you, because I assume there are no longer two Ethans.
Correct.
Okay. What have you been playing this past week?
Not a whole heap. I've been playing some Modern Warfare. Been playing some of that with some people on a different server. That's been interesting to say the least. Some people have been raging. I actually had a couple games with a different Andrew, and he hated it. So of Warzone.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't like it at all, and he's like played 2 rounds, and he's like, "Yeah, this isn't for me, bye." And he doesn't own Modern Warfare, so it's like that was the only mode that he can play, so it was kind of funny. Aside from that, I have what else have I been playing? not a whole heap, but I've been watching a heap of anime. I guess it's not really gaming related, but I got back into My Hero Academia. I finished that last night.
I finished that last night as well.
Cool. We watched it separately, let's say that.
Yeah.
I don't like watching anime subbed. I prefer it dubbed, to be honest, because I don't like reading when I watch a movie or anime or whatever. So it was a little bit disjointing to start off with, but then I got used to it. So decent ending to season 4, I will say that. If you haven't watched My Hero Academia, I highly recommend it. It's different to most other anime, I feel like. It's more like relatable, at least. Even though people have superpowers, but whatever. Aside from that, been watching some Demon Slayer. Watched that yesterday with a couple other people. It's quite interesting.
How far are you into Demon Slayer?
Episode 13.
Oh, okay, that's I'm a couple episodes ahead of you guys then.
But Logan and other Andrew as well are like episode 7. Andrew,
I'm
you're
sorry,
not
we're
in it.
talking
Sorry,
about other
Andrew.
experiences here. Okay, anyway. Okay. Alright, so just complete other experiences here.
Yeah. And I also got into watch like 4 episodes of Black Clover. So I'm going to start watching that as well. I'm enjoying it so far. So, yeah.
Okay, I caught up on that last night also.
Cool. I'm sad.
I mean,
yeah.
This is an anime, but Tiger King might as well be an anime. You guys should watch that.
Okay, we'll come back around to Tiger King really quick. Ethan, what have you been doing? Because you've just kind of been sitting here without being introduced, but you've been mentioned a couple times also.
Well, thank you for redirecting me right after the anime topic, because clearly I'm the foremost authority on anime. Andrew.
Oh, we're good. Sorry, I'm just gonna put some eye drops in real quick.
Oh,
Okay, I gotcha.
it's wait. So quick thing with Discord, when somebody turns their camera off, it switches the position of the layout. So now we've all moved.
Oh, have we?
Yep. Nice. That doesn't matter, but whatever.
All right. Anyway.
My bad.
Oh, there we
I've
go.
been up to a lo-
That as it was.
mean,
Okay.
Interesting.
But with this quarantine going on, I've been playing a crap ton of video games recently.
So.
Actually, no, that's not true. I've just been playing one video game. It's called The Witcher 3.
Oh God.
You may have heard of this before. It's
No
ridiculous.
idea what that game is. No freaking idea.
No way.
About a month ago or so, I've owned The Witcher 3 on PC for a long time. I played it probably September of last year. Couldn't really get into it. And then I tried it again about a month ago or so, and I don't know what it was this time, but it really hooked me. So I got it on both PC and Switch. It has cross-save between the two, which is really cool. So I'm able to go back and forth between the two. So,
Nice.
yeah, after playing it practically nonstop for like 3 or 4 weeks, I'm proud to say that I'm finally finished with the main campaign. So now I'm still playing The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, which is the second DLC, and it's very, very good, and having a good time with that.
Apparently, it's better than like the base game, Blood and Wine.
I mean, I like them both as much. Sure. I don't know. They're both very good. I enjoy them more for the. I enjoy Breath of the Wild more as like an open world game, but the story, for my money, The Witcher 3 has a really good story.
Did you go Triss or the other girl? Not
Yennefer?
Thank you.
Triss.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Approved. Power up. Approved.
Yeah, Yennefer's kind of a jerk, but whatever. Anyway, and then aside from that though, this past Monday I picked up an Oculus Quest. So I've been playing quite a bit of VR stuff. Yeah. I picked up stuff that any VR person should get. I got Super Hot. I got Beat Saber and Job Simulator. Haven't messed around with Job Simulator yet, but I finished Super Hot. I thought it would be just kind of like a novelty. Genuinely one of the coolest games I think I've played. It's incredible. Makes you feel like Neo from the Matrix. Then just today I got an extension cable in the mail, which allowed me to play Half-Life Alyx. You can hook up the Oculus Quest. Yeah, you can hook up the Oculus Quest to your PC. You guys are gonna love this. So, in order to get the Oculus Quest hooked up to your PC, right? The Oculus Quest has its own UI, right? But in order to hook it up to your PC, you have to hook it up to the Oculus app, which is designed for the Oculus Rift. So anytime you hook it up to the Oculus to the PC, you have to launch into the Oculus Rift UI on the Oculus Quest. Then, using that, you open up Virtual Desktop and navigate to Steam VR, where you go into Steam VR's UI. So you're operating Oculus Quest within Oculus Rift within Steam VR, or somewhere the other way around. It's a bit of a convoluted system, but
You don't say.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's a little strange. Anyway, I played maybe 30, 45 minutes of Half-Life Alyx, and it's pretty cool so far. I got the gravity gloves. They basically give you the force. You can pull things towards you. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
The writing is pretty good so far. I think
It's like, yeah, it's a Half-Life game.
yeah, it's a Half-Life game. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I'll let you know if I'm on the podcast again next week. I'm really early. I'll let you know if I end up liking it or not.
How did you get an Oculus Quest? Aren't they like all sold out?
I signed up with this site called nowinstock.com that
okay.
constantly refreshes, and a Walmart nearby happened to have one a shipment in stock, and I picked it up immediately, and I got it. So.
Was it
Sweet.
an essential shopping trip or what?
I will have you
Worth
know.
breaking quarantine over.
I will have you know. My brother's birthday was also yesterday, so I was also there to pick up a birthday present for him. I got him a bike, so it was kind of
Totally essential. No.
100% essential. Here's this bite that you can't use because you can't go outside.
Look, officer, I'm gonna eat it. Okay.
Put the Oculus Quest on his face when he's on the bike, and that's a real fun quarantine time.
Realistic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man.
True.
Half-Life. I don't know what am I gonna do without Half-Life in quarantine?
It's like
what am I
Officer
gonna do?
Half-Life. You don't understand.
Our Prime Minister
officer's like-
called a jigsaw puzzle an essential item.
Dude, they're like all
Pretty
sold
funny.
out everywhere. It's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah, we happen to have a bunch of like puzzles here
Okay.
Sure.
that we were looking
Listen, if an officer pulled me over while I was buying Half-Life, he would be like, "Oh, okay, Mr. Freeman, don't worry, I'll let you pass on by," because he's actually boring. Anyway, that's all I've been up to. Thanks for attending my TED Talk.
All right, no problem. Well, as you know, it's like I've been away from the main PC, so I'm limited to a laptop that with 256 gigabytes of storage and a 1650 Super and an i7. So pretty much whatever that can run, I've been playing, and within the confines of storage.
That's like
What?
more powerful than my base PC. Come on.
at.
Okay.
I know, probably better than
Okay.
mine. Or similar.
Yeah, I don't know. The storage is mostly the limiting thing. I only have like 4 games installed at a time, so roughly.
Yeah, that's
And
rough.
so, yeah, and so I've been playing some City Skylines. My main city, I don't know. I've kind of just like completed. It's like I don't really know what else to do, right? So it's like I don't know. Maybe I'll just play around in the sandbox mode in that game, or maybe I'll keep playing that. I don't know. I might play some Minecraft later, just to pass the time, do some stuff in creative mode or whatever. I did not leave the server up before I left. Sorry, Anthony.
Good
Yes,
job.
thank you. Yes, thank you. And yeah, so stuff like that. I downloaded Final Fantasy 14 onto it the other night, so I might jump back into that and play it, assuming my connection's ping isn't just god awful. So we'll have to see how that goes. If not, then uninstall that, and that'll be like another 50 gigs free, and
Sure.
so
Get
probably
some-
load up another 1 or 2 games.
Why don't you like play some Doom Eternal or something?
I don't know. I've been contemplating and see how it works.
I love how he's like, gee, my PC can't run much, but it can run Doom Eternal.
Can it? I don't know. I feel like it's a lot lower spec than it actually is. I don't know.
Well, okay, whatever. Sure.
Hey, Taylor, I have a proposition for you.
Yeah.
If I buy 2 copies of Final Fantasy VII, am I playing Final Fantasy 14 at that point?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Big
I don't
brain over
know.
here.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, though, game looks good. Game looks
does.
really, really good.
Mm.
When I get back to my place in the PS4, I'm probably gonna have to pick it up and start playing it.
It's only PS4 right now?
Yeah, it's only PS4.
Okay.
Probably will.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, probably will only be PS4. For
Oh,
this.
really? They're not doing an Xbox at all? Huh.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Weird.
Did any of you play the demo for that game?
No.
I didn't.
Nope.
Really, it's really good. Yeah, the music. As someone who played a good chunk of the original game, the music, oh my gosh, the orchestral renditions are probably the highlight of the entire thing. I haven't picked up the main game myself, but
Sure.
I might. I don't know. I didn't have so much else to play.
There was a really good article going around yesterday. I don't know if you saw it about the easy mode of that game.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
We were talking about that in the Slack. Did you see
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Phil?
I didn't see that chat. No, I turned my Slack notifications off because they were destroying my brain and PC.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Fair enough. So yeah, that little thing we were talking about is, Kotaku, which more on them later, just a little bit, right? So Kotaku, last year around this time when Sekiro came out, which was my personal game of the year last year for whatever it's worth, there was
It's a lot
this
of people's
huge,
game of the year.
huh?
It was a lot of people's game of the year.
Yeah.
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 And so, yeah, there was this huge debate about, easy mode in games, right? Should there have been an easy mode in Sekiro? Because, there are only ways to make that game harder, not easier, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, there was this debate around it and everything, and then kind of died down. And now, and Kotaku, at the time there, published one of, like, the most quintessential articles about it, kind of kicking that whole thing off, everything. Okay, and then, fast forward to this year, almost a year later, Kotaku also publishes an article that says Final Fantasy VII Remake's easy mode is too easy.
So I think they got back in and
Even better.
edited the headline a little bit to be a little better.
Okay, hold on. Let's pull it up now. What does it?
I believe it's too drastic of a
Yeah, I think
difference.
it is just a problem. I mean, I didn't read the article myself, but I'm sure it probably is just a headline issue, right? I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
they probably made a pretty good argument for it. It's just,
Yeah, I read, well, not the whole thing, but I read like part of it, just talking about how like, oh, there's this fight and it was really hard. I turned it to easy, and I literally beat it in like 2 minutes.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
you've got to
yeah,
look.
I mean that is the point, but
Okay, so it's like,
yeah.
is it?
The headline. Is
You've
the
got to
issue.
make way for gamers like me who suck. So come on.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this thing, I think maybe what we're all kind of arriving at the conclusion here is that instead of calling it easy, it should have been like storytelling mode, like some other
yeah.
games have and everything.
No.
So,
What is it?
Yeah.
What does Doom do? Like, I'm a little baby. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like the little big mode, like Wolfenstein with the pacifier and everything.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
that one's
Yeah.
good.
Hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Easy modes are good, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't often put it down to easy. I can't think of a game that I've done that for in a long time.
Personally, I
Yeah.
prefer it whenever a game has a set difficulty because then I know that's how the game was designed and intended to be played.
Usually,
that's my-
right?
Usually.
Yeah.
That's my personal taste.
No,
Yeah.
that's
I
it.
kind of like the whole like mono difficulty of Dark Souls and Sekiro and everything.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, Mario, Shovel Knight, any number of games you wanna point to.
sure.
I feel
Okay.
like yeah, this is a different. Okay, we'll move on.
I would say Breath of the Wild, but they added Master Mode. to
Mario Party, come on,
Sure,
Andrew.
sure.
Mario Party is just
Hell yeah.
like, it's like nightmare mode all the time.
that. Constant nightmare, hardest
Yeah.
game of all time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna
Ultra
win?
Nightmare.
Think you're gonna win? Think again, Buster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hell yeah.
All right, so circling back around to the anime really quick, Andrew, what is Tiger King? Because
Oh,
I've
no.
heard
Alright.
so much about this show in passing, and I've read that it's the most watched show on Netflix right now. What is Tiger King? Is it fiction or nonfiction?
No, it's nonfiction. It's real.
Okay.
It's like a documentary about
God.
like people who own like
Dang.
big cats, I guess
Okay.
is the easiest way to put
Oh,
it.
sure.
So lions, tigers, panthers, etc.
Yeah,
Oh,
like they even go into like some like private zoo stuff. So it's
Sure,
Fascinating.
I don't even want to talk about what it is because I
Okay.
just jumped into it and was like, okay. And like by episode 3, I was just like, dude, what is happening? This is so enthralling.
Okay.
It's really good. Just give the first episode a watch, and you'll be like, okay, there's some interesting characters here, and then it just goes, man.
Goes for a ride.
Yeah.
See, I don't like do Netflix. So is it worth like re-upping the Netflix subscription to watch? Do you think?
I mean, I don't think any one show is probably worth like re-upping your.
Okay.
But
Look, just
it's really good. I mean,
Okay.
just
You
create
watch Castlevania while you're
another email.
Heard
and away you go.
Castlevania's pretty good.
oh yeah, you could just like
Yeah,
do a
free
free
trial.
trial for it or something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But it's
Not-
good, man.
Not that
Sure,
I
what
do
did
that
you
or
say?
anything.
Why did you say, speaking of anime, hey, there's this
Oh,
documentary?
because it's
What? Because
I
it was
made
the
the joke that it's
Yeah,
like
it was the conversation we were having when we were all talking about the anime we were watching, and then
Yeah.
Andrew brought up Tiger King. I was like,
Yeah.
you want? We'll get back to that in a second.
It's
Okay.
it's just as wild as an anime. It might as well be. Like
Okay.
it just freaking goes places, man.
Goes for
And yeah,
rides.
this is real life though.
This is real life, man. Yeah, they're like
Okay.
I was just
Dang.
learning that like that whole area of the United States is somewhere I never want to go. I don't ever want to go to Florida, that general area down there. No, thank you.
Oh, you see, I've been to Florida. I've been to Orlando, and it was pretty decent. Like, I've visited Disney World and Universal
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
there's-
So you just
Okay.
avoid everything else.
Yeah.
Probably
just-
avoid the Panhandle, right?
Yeah.
Just stay,
Yeah, I
stay,
was in the Panhandle area too, and it wasn't great.
stay in your little box. You'll be right. Your little like sector of your town. Never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Right.
quarantine sectors, the Hunger Games
Exactly.
district.
Exactly.
That's all leading
District
to, right? Yeah.
5 or whatever it is.
Volunteer as tribute.
Man. Yeah, you guys should watch that if you have Netflix. It's very good.
Sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So, getting now the intro segment here, the general housekeeping stuff. The main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, opinion pieces, editorials, reviews, etc., etc. All things gaming you can find there. And then we have a community Discord, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, and you can chat to most people on the staff, including all the people you see on or hear on the podcast right now. We have 2 Facebook pages for Culture of Gaming. There's one for the main site and one for the podcast here specifically, and they are facebook.com/culture of gaming and facebook.com/poweruppodcast. And then Twitter @the COG Network, Instagram @culture of gaming, youtube.com/culture of gaming, twitch.tv/culture of gaming, where you can find the podcast every live at Saturday on 3 p.m.
What
Pacific
was
Standard
that
Time.
for every live at Saturday? What was that for a statement?
Did I say? I don't know. Okay, anyway. You can find the podcast being recorded live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time
That's fine.
on twitch.tv/culture of gaming. And if you're looking for some audio content to, pass the quarantine days by, then you can find a repository of all the previously recorded Power Up podcasts in wherever you can get podcasts, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Podbean, etc. Furthermore, if you're browsing the site, we also have a built-in podcast player that you can find. It's at the bottom now, right?
Correct. We got rid of
Okay.
the breaking news tab because somebody hated it and other people hated it. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye, and then we move the podcast player back down to the bottom.
Correct. And you can
So-
find a repository of all the podcasts on the site as well. If you go to the podcasts tab, it's automatically linked with Podbean. So it's like a Podbean player thing that you can play them all through there if you wish to.
Okay, awesome. So, getting out of that is kind of like the weekly site recap, kind of a newish segment still, where we go through the reviews and featured articles published on the site in the past week. So the first review we have up is for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and this was written by Adam Wiles. And just going through the review here, couple highlights. He says presentation point is Grand Blue's strong point here, and overall score of 7.5, with the good being incredible art style and animation, dense and fun combat system, lots of content for fans of the genre, great soundtrack and presentation, but the bad, RPG mode is forgettable and lack of characters. Summarized as Grand Blue Fantasy Versus might not make you a hardcore fan of the franchise, but will offer a fun entry to the fighting game genre. Though the story is forgettable, the stunning graphics and fun systems make it a good addition to the fighting game pantheon. So, Andrew, is this on your radar at all? As the fighting game?
I was looking at it for a while. I just never got into it. It's not an. It's like weird. It's like anime style, but it's not an anime fighter. If that makes any sense to people.
Sure.
It's not like a Guilty Gear or whatever. It's a little more grounded, like not as much air combos. So it's kind of up my alley. I'm not like in love with any of the character designs or anything.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like, well, it doesn't look. I don't have like, oh, this looks cool. Like I like the way this character looks. I want to, play this game. So I'm not like drawn in by any like the art or anything, unfortunately.
Sure. Okay.
I touched it, but from what I've looked at, it's got some really good. It's got a nice little following. Definitely little tournaments going on and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's weird because I didn't know this game was based on a mobile gotcha game. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah, I did.
Ah.
I recognized Granblue at least.
Yeah, so there's like a mobile gotcha game basically, and then they just took the characters out and stuck them in a fighting game. It's interesting. I don't know, like I know in the review here it says it, but like the main mode of not the main mode, but like the arcade mode or story mode, it's like a beat 'em up. So like you're like side scrolling. It's weird. It's just some weird stuff going on. But the fighting looks good. Just haven't got around to it yet.
Okay.
Sure. I think it was like a Japanese, so it was
is.
released only in Japan. I don't think it's in the US yet.
Oh, okay.
No, it came out in the US like late last month. It was in Japan. It came out like I want to say like April or like February. So we got like a month later than them. But it came out recently, I think.
Okay. I couldn't tell you.
It came out in May 2019. What? That looks wrong.
I think it recently came. What the hell is going on with Discord?
What do you mean?
It's like tearing. So the boat.
Yeah,
like
it does that for me a little bit too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
They've turned it
Functional
into like
product and all that.
Google Hangouts a bit, where like when somebody talks, it lights up. So I think that's what's causing the issue. It's really weird.
Maybe.
Just nobody talk. Great podcast. Everybody sits there. Good idea.
Okay. Anthony, anything you at all interested in the Granblue fighting game here?
I don't think it's really personally my thing. My main fighter is Smash Brothers, and I don't really venture much beyond that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So the next review that was up, this was written by one of our writers named Dark, D-A-R-C. I don't know who that actually is. He should probably sort his name out there.
That actually
Neon...
is his name.
Oh, okay.
D-A.
All right. Dark.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Neon City Riders, it is a top-down adventure game from developer Mecha Studios. It released on March 12th, 2020. It looks to be on PS4. It's getting awfully close to the unholy trinity of indie games here, but I digress. He didn't seem to care for it too much. I gave it a 5 out of 10, which is just mediocre. And the good is great art style and music. The retro presentation complements both the world and the gameplay. Mecha Studios makes a valiant attempt at translating the Zelda formula into Neon City Riders' cyberpunk setting. The straightforward tutorial does a fine job at preparing players who are unfamiliar with the style of progression. The bad leans too heavily on its Zelda roots with no deviation or innovation, however slight in the formula. Combat is dull, the environmental puzzles do little to make exploration more interesting or engaging, a poorly executed UI design made the game hard to look at some points, it may even be an accessibility issue for some players, and frequent crashes throughout my playthrough on PS4.
That's
Nice.
unfortunate. This game has a cool look to it.
Yeah,
What?
I suppose.
I like the neon like colors and the.
Oh yeah, the palette is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and it's not pixel art-y quite, is it?
It's getting there.
It's close, but
It's getting there.
I apologize about the crow in the background.
Can't even hear it.
no,
Let's get on for it.
Okay. So is this at all appealing to anyone?
I think it looks cool, but I don't like top-down Zelda games really. So
Yeah, neither. So I probably won't be picking this up, to be honest. Like, I am not really too much of a fan of what's the one that got ported to Switch?
Karina?
No.
Link to the Past?
Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
Oh,
I haven't played that yet, but it doesn't really attract my attention. I am going to force myself to play it, but games like this don't really do anything for me. So I probably won't pick it up.
Okay.
I think Anthony is the one in the chat with Culture Gaming, yes?
Correct.
Cool.
Okay. All right. No, I don't even have chat pulled up. I probably don't have the bandwidth to have chat pulled up right now, though, with the stream. Yeah. Anyway, so the next review up is In Other Waters, and this was reviewed by Melanie Ashford. She's written quite a bit for us so far in her tenure with us. It's an exploration game with a strong storyline. It's on PC and Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty sure she reviewed it on the Nintendo Switch. and she gave it an 8.5 out of 10, which is a great score. And the good, a compelling storyline, fantastic music, excellent characters, awesome graphics and layout, and it's peaceful. The bad, sometimes confusing, frustratingly slow movement, and
Which
she
is
got
business.
stuck for ages. And what's summarized as a superb video game that will appeal to a broad range of people, and says that this is a developer to watch for any future titles that they might put out.
Nice.
So,
Give it
Yeah.
an 8.
Don't know what
8.5.
I'm looking at here, but okay. Like I'm looking at the screenshots and I'm like, what kind of game is this? But that's fine.
yeah.
Puzzle game, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not
So it is like a what's that game where you land on a planet and it's all water?
Mm-hmm.
Outer Wilds.
No,
No.
I can't remember what it's called.
No Man's Sky.
No, so it's
Subnautica? I don't know.
Interstellar.
Subnautica. That's it.
Oh.
So it's similar to that, but it's a bit more tactical.
Okay.
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 Interesting.
Sean, thank you for the nachos, much appreciated.
All
Even
right.
though they're
You
digital.
get nachos and Twitch now?
Doritos.
Thanks,
to be
Sean.
a
Appreciate
little
it.
more.
Yeah, Doritos.
Oh,
We
okay.
call them nachos, but whatever. Like nacho chips. I don't know.
Oh hey.
I mean,
Amber's
like
in the chat.
Doritos
She's
are just
going-
kind of like condensed down nachos, right?
True.
I
Like,
want
honestly.
nachos really bad.
Same. Okay.
What have I done?
I know, right?
Hey,
I'll
Anthony,
take Doritos too, I guess.
Ethan, what?
Is that Amber? In the
Yes,
chat
it is.
calling you Doritos?
Unfortunately, I don't know
Just
why.
making
but
sure.
Oh
whatever.
dear God, where?
What?
You all right?
Where?
What?
Okay,
She said-
autoplay video on one of the things I had pulled up. Sorry. What are we talking
No,
about?
you're fine.
We're moving on, I think, right?
So,
Sure. Yes. Okay. So game is Light Subnautica. It's apparently really good. Pick it up. It's $15. I think both on Switch and PC. Doesn't seem like the hardest game to run on PC. So go ahead, go for it. Seems like. And then the last review this week is One Step from Eden, specifically the Nintendo Switch version. This was written by Kevin Alvarez, who's been on the podcast a couple times,
Mhm.
but it was quite a hot minute ago. Cool dude. I respect his opinion quite a bit. So
Ooh.
he gave One Step from Eden on Nintendo Switch a 9.5 out of 10, which is of
Dang.
course
Wow.
a superb score. And the good fills the Battle Network void, which is a Mega Man reference. So this game is like very Mega Man-esque looking, and
Yep.
like it seems like it plays Mega Man-esque also with the GIFs and images that he's put in here. So I think that's pretty cool. Highly replayable, amazing pixel art and extra playable characters. Includes local co-op and PvP. And the bad, he says the soundtrack and environments are good, but they need more variety, and the Joy-Cons aren't great for local multiplayer. The review summary is One Step from Eden is addicting, intense, and all around a great card-based roguelike with tons of replayable mechanics. The game is a successor to the Battle Network series, but takes the initial framework and adds a fun feistiness to the formula you never knew you wanted. This indie is perfect for long hours of play or in small bursts when playing on the go. If you love games like Dead Cells, Hollow Knight, and other beloved roguelike games, do yourself a favor and play One Step from Eden and see for yourself its amazing gameplay and strategy systems. I was a huge fan of the Mega Man Battle Network games as a kid. Had them on Game Boy. I loved
Mhm.
those games.
Interesting.
So maybe I'll pick this one out.
I have never
Taylor,
heard
you
of them.
continue to surprise me.
What do you mean?
continue- You just don't strike me as the kind of person who'd be into like a Mega Man.
Battle
I
Network.
used to watch like that I guess it was anime now, come to think of it. The
Dang.
Mega Man anime that was on
Probably.
in the
Cool.
afternoons when I got home from school.
Really?
He got started early.
Yeah, it was
How
pretty good.
fooled as a child to watch anime.
I don't know, there's so many things you watch as a child that don't realize it's anime. Like, yeah, you watch Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, all anime, you know?
That's it.
Ha, I didn't watch any of that, so I,
Okay,
I was,
whatever.
I was,
Wow,
I
you're
was
lame.
untainted.
You're lame.
I was untainted.
Wish I
so
could be
pure.
you.
I'm pure.
Wish I was
Yeah.
untouched by the anime.
Yeah.
Nerd Awakens in the chat says Mighty Number 9 is better, don't at me.
What's that Mighty Number 9 anime that never came out? They like kickstarted it.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Dragon
Uh,
Ball Z from Rosdy's Reborn in the chat. Okay.
There you go, Andrew,
All
meet
right.
Andrew. That's the other Andrew.
Ah,
The other Andrew of reference, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. This game looks pretty fun. I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's got a
mean,
good
that
look
makes-
to it.
Yeah, it seems a lot more fast-paced than some of the Battle Network stuff I remember playing. Also, but maybe I don't remember it. You know, I wonder if that would be worth dating an emulator for setting up playing Battle Network stuff.
I
Okay,
mean,
anyway.
if
Maybe.
we were to do emulators, maybe, but that's only if we do that, which we wouldn't. So,
Right,
hey, Red.
exactly.
Why don't you
Red
just
Chris, how
buy
you doing?
this game?
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
saying it's similar to Battle Network, and you are basically scratching that itch, I guess.
Yeah, as
And
Kevin
on
puts it.
this is Switch, right? This is probably great on Switch. I mean, like,
Yeah,
good.
this is on the Switch.
Is it Switch only?
No.
It might be on other ones, but this would be a really good game for Switch for what it looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's on Steam as well. For what
Okay.
it's worth.
What the hell just happened? Okay,
I
fine.
don't know what happened.
Beats me.
Whatever, doesn't matter. All good.
Okay. All right, so that'll wrap it up for reviews. So this is the next bit, you know, is of course the featured articles, but there's only one featured article this week, and I think this is kind of a big enough topic. This is going to kind of get blended in with our leading topic because it was a bit of a slow news week this week, in all honesty. So we're really scraping what to find. And it's not like nothing super major happened in the video game world. I mean, the largest thing that really happened was the Final Fantasy VII remake coming out, but I mean, it just coming out isn't exactly newsworthy. You know, we know it's coming out, stuff like that. I guess you could comment on how good of review scores it's gotten, in which case it's done fantastic so far. So
We may, like, because news will probably, like, continue to slow down with the whole coronavirus and everything going around, so we may, like, change the format a little bit of the podcast so then we're not, like, stuck for topics or something.
Yes.
So then we can break it up a bit and, yeah, just cover, like, 1 or 2 news topics a week instead of, like, 4 to 6.
Stretch for these small news topics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we'll just try to play it by ear and make any sort of format adjustments we have to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on to the featured articles bit. This is The Death of Games Journalism, and this was co-written by Callum Marshall and Will Nelson. And, well, I don't want to say the title is self-explanatory, but it's basically an analysis and examination of, you know, just kind of the various practice in the gaming media industry. You know, you're gonna have we have certain big names in there dropped and everything, like Donkey, Kotaku's Jason Schreier, stuff like that, Colin Moriarty, all those people and everything.
This is a
However,
big one. Sorry.
yeah, this is a big one. It's quite the lengthy read, but it's all great. It's fantastic. I like it a lot.
Would you mind linking to it in the Twitch chat if you can, or somebody?
Sure.
Yeah, I got you.
So the people...
Okay.
Thank you.
Damn.
Oh wow, I'm not logged in. That's cool, I guess. Okay, so yeah, go
Thank you,
check
Andrew.
it out. But basically, gonna summarize just a little bit and everything. Talks about how, you know, there's a lot of inconsistency even from the same outlets that are writing things and whatnot. We touched a little bit on that in our intro segment. We were joking about Kotaku with the whole easy mode thing and everything, and then also talking about the issues of actually reviewing games and everything, and how, you know, you get people who work for these outlets who might not really play games, review games also, and therefore, you know, when they write their review, someone reading it might not get an accurate sense for what the game actually is, and might be misleaded because of the person's lack of knowledge. And I don't know, that's something that I'd like to say that at least I personally account for, right? Is just like, you know, if it's like, oh, we have an indie game, or not an indie game, sorry, a platforming game that needs to be reviewed or whatever, I probably won't take it just because, like, I'm bad at platformers. I don't really like platformers. There are a few that I really enjoy, like Ori. I gave a great score to Ori, but, you know, it's just like I'm not gonna write a review on a game genre that I don't particularly care for because I fear that my opinion would be too influenced by my dislike for the genre.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But like, reviews are just your opinions, right? So I think, you know, it comes down to a lot of reader and getting, like you said, mention the right person to review the right thing. Like, you know, like, don't give me a Zelda game to review because I probably won't beat it.
Oh no.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
You know, kind of thing.
Right. Fair enough.
So that makes sense. I was reading a bit of the article. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't consider myself a game I ever have. So even when I was doing more writing stuff.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a journalist, like a game journalist either. Just like, I don't know, we don't really do that much investigative work, which I think is a core part of journalism.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Right? So it's like, I know a lot of it is like editorial pieces, opinion pieces, reviews, stuff like that, news, etc. We try to stray away from the whole like blowing the lid off this one studio, like Shy Guy does and everything.
Yeah, like
So,
they do like a 2-year investigation into like
yeah.
Riot, like when they were having those sexual allegations and whatever. Kotaku
Yeah.
did a massive thing on that took them like a year and a half to do.
Yeah.
We don't really do stuff like that because we're still a smaller outlet at least, and a lot of smaller
such a
sites
resource
don't do
drain.
that either. Yeah, exactly. A lot of smaller outlets don't cover the investigative side of things, and I think at the end of the day, with regard to like video game journalism, yes, investigative journalism is a very important thing because if you didn't have media in some regards, a lot of stuff wouldn't come out about what the dirty side of any industry or politics or whatever it may be. But also at the end of the day, I think you need gamers talking about games, not just people who are paid to do a job who don't really game that much, or it's the same as any like journalism or any like industry, whatever it may be, golf, shooting, whatever. You need people who are actually a consumer as well to be able to, have a look at a game for review or have a look at a feature on a controller or a feature on a console and actually break it down and analyze it. So I think there's room for like investigative and also like your little backyard sites, if you want to call them that, that are smaller.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So and then it goes on to further. Another point that it makes is the injection of politics into like editorial pieces or opinion pieces written about games and everything, stuff like that. And then it also talks about what that's described as leak culture and everything, where it's like, you get, and I am going to name drop Jason Schreier because he is a subject of the article. You get Jason Schreier who consistently publishes these, like articles that come from like, unnamed anonymous sources from like the inside these studios and everything, and everyone just kind of takes his word for it because it's Jason Schreier. But at the same time, also there's no way to really verify what he's saying because this thing is so under wrap. And it's like it's like understandably, I'm not asking and it is understandably so why he would say unnamed sources or whatever
100%.
from inside the studio, because like you can't name drop these people working in the studios because that would put their livelihoods in danger and that's unethical. But at the same time, also, it's important.
Like,
I think the greater point being trying to make here is be like somewhat skeptical of what you read and what you hear.
Exactly.
Also.
Like anybody could pull something from a board like Reddit or like 4chan from a guy who's saying, "Hey, I work at Nintendo, blah blah blah." I'm not saying that Jason does this, but I'm just saying there's no way of like verifying what somebody says. So it's, I think
my uncle works at Nintendo, and he told me the new Zelda's coming out next month.
There you go, Andrew. Can we have an interview?
You ever talk shit to someone on Xbox Live? It's like my uncle works at Microsoft and he'll ban your Xbox Live account.
There we go.
Yeah. And then
I think like, I don't know. I don't want to rave on a whole heap, but like touching on the whole rumor thing, I don't see a need for rumors in gaming. I wish stuff wouldn't get leaked or like rumors weren't spread, to be honest, because it takes away from the surprise element, in my opinion, a lot of the time.
Well, I mean,
it's a weird industry. Oh, go ahead,
Ethan, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it may not be that there's a need for it. I think it's just inevitable, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of like complaining about the weather, right? Like you can complain against it as much as you want to. It's going to happen anyway. People are going to talk about things. People are going to spread rumors.
I mean, like, more so from the fact of like outlets like reporting on rumors and stuff. I feel like there shouldn't be as much of that. Like, yes, of course, people on the internet are gonna spread stuff around, which is inevitable. But I feel like journalists or like writers or whatever, I hate lumping us in with journalists. Not that I don't like journalists, but I don't feel like we are journalists. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like outlets should steer away from that a bit.
One of the most important things that I think comes out of this article is the point they make about leak culture a little bit as they describe it, and where it talks about the Cyberpunk 2077 conference leak that was given, where CD Projekt Red invited a crowd of influencers and media officials to cover the event, all under the guidelines that no content could be recorded and shared. So in steps this guy named Shane Satterfield of Sifted Games. He recorded the audio during the conference, stating that their invite offered no clarity on what type of recording was explicitly prohibited, and then he posted it online due to CDPR not having any legal recourse due to not having them sign an NDA for their attending guests, because they did it as through a gesture of trust and goodwill. And so CDPR was pretty much just forced to like eat the leak, right? They couldn't do anything about it. And so this guy got a short-term gain and notoriety and some bit of channel growth, but at the same time also it significantly damaged the relationship between the media and the game developer because he did that. And that's one of the most important things, right? Is like these companies are going to be less inviting to the media if you have people talking about, things that you're not supposed to talk about from these events.
Andrew can talk from experience here, leaking the Ace Combat stuff.
Okay, that was an accident.
I mean, they're all. That was an accident. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that was
But it
legitimately an
also
accident. We
fixed in
corrected
like
it
an
too.
hour.
Yeah,
we corrected it too.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I fixed that
It
very
was
quickly.
Yeah.
was
I
awesome.
didn't get anyone reached out to me, so
Okay.
I did not get in trouble. I don't think you guys got in trouble.
No, we.
Okay.
I think
No, we were fine.
Yeah, we were fine.
Also, like that was like this is just kind of fun to talk about. It like that was such a small. It was like in such a small circle. I don't think it actually like blew up.
It's
like,
still. I mean, yeah, true. I mean,
like the people who got a hold of it were the people who were like really into it and then like didn't.
Yeah.
You got to really look for it if you were.
Yeah, exactly. We had a couple of like retweets from like large Ace Combat like fan forums and stuff. Yeah. It's like, oh, this plane's in the game. So
yeah, they just, I swear they must have went like frame by frame. For they flashed a picture in the background. It wasn't even in the foreground. In the background of the video of like the plane selection that was in the game. And they were like, oh, know.
So oopsie.
So. Yeah, I don't know. Read the article. I think it's a really good read, albeit lengthy. But it is very, very good. I think it makes a lot of important points and everything. And it's okay that you don't agree with every single point in there. That might be the point, honestly, also. But yeah, just kind of
have a gander.
Like, hey, have a gander. Form your own thoughts and opinion on it, and
write some death threats in the comments below.
Exactly.
Be nice.
As you do whenever you react vehemently to something, because that's clearly the rational thing to do.
That's the way to do it, boys.
But yeah, you know what? Have a gander at it and hit us up either in the discuss comments at the bottom of the article or in the Twitch chat itself. So, or not in the Twitch chat, or the community Discord, or do you want any three of those channels work? Although we won't see you in the Twitch chat unless we're here, obviously. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, so I'm moving on. So moving on, the leading news topic to this week is we need to talk about the future gamers thing. No. Okay. Wow.
I'm scared of this. This scares me very much.
Yeah, so this is I don't even know how you would describe this thing.
Can someone link this? Or...
It's a mutant.
Yeah. Diagram model thing of, I don't know how to describe it.
I can't click that. Okay, sorry.
This person thing where, he looks relatively deformed in the sense of, there are clearly some chronic health issues causing it, onset by what I assume to be bad ergonomics and everything as a result of gaming. And so this was making the rounds on the internet the past couple days. This is Michael, the future gamer.
Hey, Andrew, would you mind linking it in the Twitch chat real quick? Yeah. I'm not logged in, so that the people can see it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And where Michael basically comes from is this website called onlinecasino.ca, which is like a Canadian gambling site or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they conducted a study and predicted how avid gamers should look in the next 20 years if they didn't change their lifestyle habits, from sleep deprivation and dehydration to lack of vitamin D, digital eye strain, and
Oh no.
quote-unquote PlayStation thumb. These are just some of the physical implications of spending hours online in a gaming chair away from sunlight and physical activity. So how serious is this?
This is not an April Fool's joke.
No, this is serious. This was published well after April Fool's. This is an
Wait.
actual scientific study.
Nintendo arthritis? Why are they calling it that? Why don't they just call it arthritis?
I don't know.
It's because it's like the certain way that Nintendo controllers like kind of push into the palm of your hand. I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is.
Anyway, so it basically uses this creature-looking thing to highlight some of the health issues gamers might run into unless they enact the healthy lifestyle. Which I don't know. Exaggeration aside, there's this is always something positive to advocate for, right? If you're spending lots of time sitting down in a chair or on the couch playing the video, you need to do something to stay active, stay healthy, etc. Especially now more than ever when you're encouraged to stay inside and not do much of anything. So anyway, so going over some of the health issues that they highlight here. There's the indent in skull from pressure and overuse of headphones.
Oh my God.
Bald patches from lack of sunlight and vitamin D. Dark circles from sleep deprivation and excessive screen time. I wonder if that's why I got. Interesting. I don't know. I got like 11 hours of sleep last night, so I don't know. Anyway, bloodshot eyes, irritation from staring at a monitor. That happens to me from time to time, right? I'm sure we've all kind of experienced that. Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, absolutely.
That's not like a chronic thing either. That's something that happens if. This is a new one for me. Hairy ears because lack of air circulation. I didn't know you could get hair inside your ear. What?
I mean, I would assume that comes from like wearing headphones and like the sweat, and that would create hair.
Oh God. Okay.
But that's me. Now I'm not a doctor or a person who studies that.
Okay.
Wait a
But
second.
these people might need to take their license away because I don't know what they're doing here.
Nerd Awakens in the chat. Wait, that's just a picture of me.
This is Michael, okay? This is Michael.
This is Michael. Okay.
That's what they call him.
Yeah.
Rounded shoulders from lack of movement. Okay, fair enough. Hunched back. Fair enough. Obesity from increased food intake and lack of exercise. Stress-induced skin eczema.
Of course.
Okay. Interesting.
Sure.
Let's see, pale skin because of deficiency in vitamins B12 and D. A disease that they're describing as first-person shooter, which is kind of like this bone spur-looking thing on, like this part of the wrist here, which they do is like excessive use of mouse and keyboard causing numbness. You're resting that part of your wrist on the mouse pad so much. A disease or a condition here that they refer to as PlayStation thumb, which is repetitive strain from excessive use of a controller. Have any of you guys ever gotten PlayStation thumb before? I don't think that's happened to me.
I mean,
my
hands and wrists are screwed up from other things.
Okay, yeah.
I get sore fingers from like playing Doom because my hands are moving so quick.
I can see that. Yeah,
fair enough.
Like,
yeah.
I've never gotten anything like that.
I've gotten a hole in my palm before from doing this.
Mario Party?
Nintendo 64 before, when I was like a kid. So, I mean, there's that.
I love
Should be
it.
reporting on here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Blisters on fingertips from excessive use of controller or keyboard.
I've gotten like that from like fighting games. If you play Marvel vs. Capcom, like
Sure, okay.
That a lot.
A little callus, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Nintendo arthritis, which is ulceration on hands from excessive controller use. I kind of feel that one. Maybe it's just the way I grip like the Switch or something, but like I do definitely get a little bit of feeling in like the center of the palm of my hand from the controller. Somehow I wouldn't call it an issue or anything, but it's definitely not normal. Like I don't get it holding like a PlayStation controller. Anyway, let's see. Trigger finger. Repetitive strain injury, which is a form of repetitive strain injury from doing
They're not
Dexterous
even
things.
medical terms. They're just like, oh yeah, Nintendo. It's like that's not real. That's
Yeah.
just carpal tunnel. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Varicose veins, poor blood flow from sitting down for long periods of time.
That
And,
is not what causes those, by the way.
Okay, and swollen ankles from lack of movement.
I guess that would make sense, but
Yeah, and then that's kind of a hierarchy thing and everything.
Oh god.
From a hierarchy thing, they go below. They have slides for like each relative like part, like portion of the body, and kind of go a little bit into more depth and everything. So yeah, and they say always, 5 tip for avid gamers for staying fit: healthy exercise, prevent eye strain, healthy diet, posture, hydrate, all stuff we've all heard before. And yeah, I don't know. I think the funniest thing is like, okay, taken at like individual face value, I don't think any of this is necessarily new or groundbreaking, but the fact that they just combined everything into
2020
one
will see the
creature
release of some
and
of the
then
most
pushed it
anticipated
out there
games,
is kind
including
of
some
what's
excellent.
generating the headlines a little bit. So, Ethan, do you suffer from any of the conditions?
I apologize
Oh,
about the autoplay video too that GameSpot loves to put on their site. That's brilliant. As soon as you access
know.
an article, it plays. It's really annoying.
It's amazing, right?
I know.
That's a good time.
It's really nice.
Of all these, I've definitely gotten bloodshot eyes before. I mean,
Yeah.
you just got to be proactive about avoiding these things, right?
Posture.
I don't know why they. Yeah, I don't know why they want to preach at us with this image, like you say.
Yeah.
Two things that I think we should really step back and appreciate the image as a whole. First of all, I want to appreciate that this guy is a multi-platform gamer. Okay, he's using PC,
100%.
he's using Nintendo, PlayStation. I can back
I
that
love
up.
it.
Most important detail: he's not using Xbox. He's the perfect gamer. I don't know what else to say. And then also, why does this look like Homer Simpson if you were in a 1970s claymation Christmas film?
Like a
It does
Wallace and
have
Gromit
That's
model.
a really good description.
It does have a claymation vibe to it.
Yeah.
Man,
The image scares me. Who made
it's
this?
terrifying.
Yeah,
Onlinecasino.ca.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
that's it.
This looks
great.
like a Wallace and Gromit character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
a little bit,
go.
yeah.
It really
Wallace
does.
and Gromit. If
Man, do the future gamer shirts already exist? Because I kind of want a future gamer
Please.
shirt.
Wallace and Gromit, if it were like on Adult Swim, though. Okay, like
Yeah, really.
I mean, there are already really bad future gamer shirts out there.
If it was like a horror or something.
Oh,
Good
Okay.
lord.
God.
anyway, that's the only thing of value I have to contribute. This is horrifying.
It's terrifying.
So,
And clearly, this
It's
person
very-
never wears shoes either. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
do we think this is like a legit thing that will happen to people? Or
I mean, not all of these
No.
conditions at once, probably, but I mean, any of these individual things are something that could probably happen to someone, right?
sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I've heard of, what they refer to as FPS, which is like the little like swollen this part of your wrist here and everything.
Yeah.
That was a thing, particularly in the
Actually, your
Korean
wrist thing,
StarCraft community for a number of
No,
years back
really.
in the Brood War days. So,
Sure.
I mean, like, I've actually heard of that one before.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yeah.
I
If you
think-
do anything for too long, you're gonna have some sort of like thing is gonna happen from it, right? Medically. Right?
Yeah,
Life
Uh,
is about
yeah.
balance. You know?
exactly.
Exactly.
You have to
Like,
keep that in mind.
people have been gaming since, well, probably mainstream since the 90s, really.
Since the beginning of time, people have been gaming.
Since the beginning of
This
So-
person, Michael, clearly has been.
I know, right?
There was one of my professors was telling me about this, or whatever. It was like there was he read this thing. It was just like there was the worst like this organization of educators ran like a contest, so to speak, or whatever, of like the worst introduction sentence to an essay that like they've ever heard. So it's like the teachers will be encouraged to like chime in and like submit their own like introduction sentences they found in students' essays. And he said the one that won the worst one was, since the beginning of time, mankind has searched for non-stitch cookware.
What?
That's pretty good. I'm on board with this. I
That's
want to read that
decent.
article now.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But anyway, okay, that was a total sidetrack. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, future gamers.
Okay, so my point was, these conditions, in a sense, yes, they're making up names for them, but most of them exist already, like arthritis and all that kind of stuff. I highly doubt, like even if you're gaming, like I don't know, like as Ethan said, it's all about balance. It's all about, go out, get in the sun for 20 minutes a day or whatever. It's not going to kill you. Go for a walk. Just have some balance. Don't sit in front of a computer all day. Even if you did, I highly doubt you would end up like that.
It would take a very long time, I think.
Yeah.
2 kids.
I don't know.
People are more susceptible to different things than others, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, but yeah.
And I don't know the way that they phrase it. The phrase "future gamer" is such an end all be all, right? It's like they're positioning it as if you will play video games and this is what you will look like. That
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the de-evolve. Like, is this evolving? Is this like the dent in your skull? Like, how does that even? That's not real, is it?
Kind of. Like, it's not a dent in the actual skull, but in like the tissue and everything. The tissue certainly does get compressed down after wearing headphones for a bit. I feel it.
I mean, it's like certain.
Yeah.
It's like certain like cultures who do like elongated skulls and whatever. Like put the stuff around their head and it changes the shape of the skull. That
is true. Yes.
It can happen, but like if you just change the position of your headset, don't have it in the same spot.
Don't wear headphones for.
Yeah. Just like because you can like have it in different parts of your head if you want. It's not just one singular part.
Earbuds.
So, earbuds.
These headphones are like specially shaped so that it's like they have to be right side up to fit properly. So
yeah. So it's I don't know, like just.
Well, I'm looking toward the future where we're all horribly disfigured and we're still playing video games.
yeah, at least I have video. You know what I'm looking forward to in the future? Also, a new Apex Legend. Andrew.
Ooh, nice one. Yeah. Okay. Apex Legends, good game. Been playing it. Haven't been playing it recently, unfortunately. But
although it is in fact a good game.
It is very good. Yes, I can stand by that. I've played a lot of it. So I'm not sure. Okay, I guess we're in season 4 right now. Yes.
I thought we were still in season 3. Maybe we were up
Season
to 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah. So season 4 right now, and I guess this character Lobo, am I saying that right? Loba, excuse me, is being rumored for a while, and I'm not sure who this is. I Loot Games is a data miner.
Okay.
And there's a video actually up on their site or their YouTube page that has like the model of the character and everything.
Oh, interesting.
So this is not like, at least it looks super legit.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let me link this in the chat if you guys are interested. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. It looks like they're gonna be a new character. Obviously it's all like rumor and speculation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they're saying like it ties in with like Revenant, if you're familiar with the lore.
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that they're still, putting out pretty good content for this game. Although it sucks. We talked about leak culture a little bit. Here it is. Right.
Right. I don't know. Data mining is just a little bit different than a leak. Data mining, yeah, and that's like its own little conversation there.
Yeah, that's true. Because you're going out of your way to like find this thing.
Yeah.
But it's there, I guess, technically for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool. There's no like, they don't have a tease on like when she would actually be in the game.
And we know next to no info about her except for maybe Revenant killed her parent.
Exactly.
Sure. There was a guy for season 4 who was supposed to, like, they data mined him, and there was a trailer for him as well, and it was basically Respawn, like, having a go at people, just being like, haha, this is the guy you want, and then Revenant came in and killed him.
Right.
Basically took his place instead of, like, the other guy. So something similar could happen here. With regard to somebody, this could be completely incorrect, or she could get killed, or anything. So, be interesting to see what happens with her.
Yeah. They showed off an in-game model. It looks like with like actual animations.
Sure.
A little bit. So like, it's just like the other guy. I don't remember his name that they like killed off. He was just kind of like drawings and like artwork. I don't think he was an actual like model in the game.
They had a trailer with him in it,
but he wasn't like it wasn't like an in-game model as much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So like this seems a little bit more like it actually is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe more characters will get me back in the game. Because when Revenant dropped, I was like pretty into it, and then I just got off again.
Yeah, it's nice that they kind of have this little cadence going where it's like we get a new character every season or so now.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's kind of nice.
yeah. They just gotta. I don't know. I feel like they have a lot to do with like making like just buff all the bad characters and make them good. Because there's some characters that are just kind of like
Yeah.
so.
I don't know. Like I still main Mirage whenever I play Apex. Just feel like
Yeah, I love
reset and
Mirage, but
whatever.
he's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have a way of playing him. That's the thing. You can't
Yeah.
be offensive 24/7.
Sure.
Oh, that's just how I play.
Good luck to you,
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, some people like Lifeline's good because she heals people. There's a spot for everybody, but somebody like I don't know, Bloodhound seems stupid.
He's like the best, right?
I
Is
mean, he needs buffing, in my opinion.
They did buff him pretty recently. They got
true.
his ping like goes further, and
Sure.
if you get kills in the like alt, it adds more time.
Sure.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing those changes.
So
And I haven't played a whole lot of Apex since maybe the start of season 2. Whenever we got that new map, I really haven't played too much of it.
Yeah.
So
Revenant
when I get
is.
back,
I don't know. Revenant's stupid in my opinion.
Revenant seems pretty bad.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, they did buff him up where like you get 50% health on after you like die from the totem
Sure.
or whatever.
yeah.
So that's a pretty big one instead of coming back with like 1 health.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Apex Legends. I'm glad they're still adding new stuff to it.
The player
Ethan,
base
do you
doesn't
think
seem to
Apex will be
be
around for a while?
Who's that?
Ethan, do you think Apex will be around for a while?
Seems so. Seems like they're keeping the momentum up as far as I can tell from an outsider's perspective. I don't really have a horse in the Apex race, but
Are you
Okay.
do you play first-person shooters at all, or?
I play a lot of first-person shooters. I generally don't just play on. I don't play online games. I don't like to play games with other people because other people suck. You know what I'm saying? People
It's
Fair enough, yeah.
It's
people suck.
yeah. This is totally off topic, but like when we were playing like Warzone, like if we just do 2 people and we have a third, we always try to be super nice. Like, yeah, you buddy, you good. Like just trying to be super nice to our friend, and then they probably hate us.
Oh no.
We're not doing it tongue in cheek. We're like, yeah, good job, bud.
Yeah, you got it,
Oh,
bro.
Yeah,
Good kill.
trying to be encouraging.
Yeah.
That's good.
Except for when I kill people, and apparently in that game, when you like get killed or like kill somebody, like the mics like connect.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I say bad things that I shouldn't say to those people, and sometimes I apologize for that.
Yeah,
no.
that's been a thing in COD for a while, where just like you kill someone, it's like it patches you into their mic really for like a couple seconds, so you hear their reaction.
Usually it's just screaming. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I find Apex to be pretty like non-toxic.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I haven't. When I played it, I never really had too much. Occasionally, there were some people who were like, "What are you doing, man? Meow meow meow," and just being jerks. But,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. For me, it's not even an issue of like the toxicity thing. It's just I can't handle.
You're just too late for everyone that no one's on your skill level. That's what you were saying.
No, not even that. No, I love video games.
It is
I
that.
suck at them.
Okay.
Very bad. And I don't like I mean, no matter what community you go to, no matter what online video game community, there's always going to be someone who only ever plays that video game. I'm not that
100%, yeah.
person. I like to go from game to game to game to game to game.
Ah, yes, the sweats.
Exactly,
the sweats.
right? Exactly. And so I don't want to spend 57 hours in Overwatch learning how to get better at that just so I can get as good as all the people who just play Overwatch. Same with Apex, same with Counter-Strike.
Sometimes it just happens. I just all of a sudden,
exactly.
next thing I know, I got 80 hours in this game. I'm like, oh.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
like
didn't mean to put 1,500 hours into Counter-Strike, but lo and behold.
Right.
I've got
Well, the other thing is
150 in Apex. I don't know how. I still think that's incorrect.
Well, and the other thing for me is that like I like to work towards a definite end goal in the game. I
Okay.
like to start a game, I like to finish it, move on to the next one. Boom, I'm done. I'm out of there. In like an online game, like it's just like okay, it's repetition. You're doing the same thing over and over, which is
see,
fine. So some people are into that. It's just not my thing, personally.
Fair
I like
enough.
the competition, but then I also find like some like cool like cosmetic thing that I just like that's like absurdly hard to get or like absurdly want to get. Just like you know what, I want that. Like you
There
know,
you go.
a big part of why I'm still playing Modern Warfare is because I'm on that steel grind. So
Yeah,
no,
sure.
Battle Pass.
Absolutely.
Grind.
yeah, Yeah, the
creating
battle
those
map, right.
goals for yourself, I'm sure that helps quite a bit.
I know.
Yeah.
I got a pretty sweet character. I got like a guy who looks like he's a prisoner. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
okay.
Okay.
Where
Pretty
on?
amazing. In Modern Warfare, sorry.
Sure,
He's like a Russian prisoner. It looks terrible.
sure.
Is
I
it
mean,
Mace?
It's like the Igor guy or whatever.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
from an outsider's perspective, the entire life cycle of Apex really is kind of fascinating to me. That Respawn was just able to launch that game out of the middle and
Mm.
it became as popular as it did, and it's still maintaining momentum to this day.
Yeah.
Just trying to
that's-
hot drop
that's
it
fast.
on Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty cool success story. So
I feel like they need.
Respawn, good developer.
I feel like
Mhm.
they need to change things up a little bit though. Respawn, like with Apex, just because it's I don't know. They're not really bringing a whole heap to the game at the moment. So it kind of feels a little like Modern Warfare. They change modes every couple of weeks, or they do add new stuff every so often. But Apex is just like, hey, new character, yay.
I think they
That's
just
kind of
added
it.
duos, like permanently.
Apex.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Nice.
wow.
Good.
Okay.
Nice.
There's like permanent duos, and there's a the map rotates now, so it's gonna rotate between Kings Canyon,
Oh,
World's
okay.
Edge, and I think the night version too. I could be wrong.
Oh wow, okay.
Is that like a
they're
limited
definitely-
time thing or?
No, I think this is all permanent.
Okay. Okay.
I think they're
Seems
just
fun.
trying. Yeah, they're trying to like diversify the game a little bit, right? I think the ranked mode will be set to like one particular
Hmm.
map.
Yeah, ranked is
But-
Kings Canyon.
Yeah,
Excellent.
but the other stuff is like they're just opening their game up now, right? Like trying to see what works.
Like they really should have, to get more players in. They really should have done crossplay, like a lot earlier. In my opinion, they still haven't done crossplay. Like
Right.
that's kind of crazy. And like singles or duos, like why can't they do that? It's not that hard to do. It's taken them a year and a bit to do duos finally. So
They're saying like singles is a problem because like then you're just gonna have 500 Pathfinders running around, or like they want to like figure out how to balance like a singles mode so that not everyone's just doing the same exact thing.
Apex Legends, but everyone is playing Caustic.
Yeah, like right, like that
That'd
would
be a little bit
nightmare.
stupid, right?
Yeah. So they gotta like figure out how to balance like like Lifeline is basically useless, right, in singles mode.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So like how do they make a singles
she's
mode
not really for
compelling?
you. She's not really for like because her bot heals you as well. So
Sure. But like she's missed like her like doesn't she like get people up faster and
Yeah,
like,
most of her utility is based around like helping like a support character for a
squads.
squad. So it's like it kind of makes sense with
Yeah.
Apex Legends being such like
Ow.
a team focused game, so to speak, like your little squad of people game. In that it's like a lot of the abilities are designed around somehow benefiting to more than one person.
yeah, sure.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, that's also not the only thing that's been leaking around. We got some
Yeah.
Nintendo stuff also.
Yeah, this happened a little while ago. I want to say like a week sometime. But apparently Nintendo may be working on a collection of HD Mario games for
Ooh.
the Switch.
No.
Oh.
Makes me very
This it's not all of them. It would be, let's see here. It's a report from VGC, which I believe is a video game something.
What is it?
Video Games Chronicle.
Yeah.
okay.
Sure.
Claims that Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy are the ones that would be coming to Switch this year. These will be probably released as part of a remastered anniversary collection, but it's unclear when this collection will be released or if there's anything else in it. Let's see.
Interesting.
This looks like it's editorialized.
Just a little bit.
Yes, it is. It's talking about how like new Super Mario Bros. U and stuff like that is like
Sure.
kind of a thing that might just be ported as well. If it's
I
not
think
already.
Super Mario U is already on Switch, isn't it?
Oh, that one
It
is
is.
already ported. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
it is, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is exciting. If it's real.
Yeah.
I hope it's real.
What was I gonna say? Super Mario All Stars 2. They have to come.
Please. Please.
Mario Golf 64, please.
Oh, dude, I could go for a new Mario Golf.
Yeah. Even
Oh,
if
this
it's
seems
like
like
a
it's gonna be like a
rebit.
it's gonna be a remake of like some of the like core platformer, like
Yeah.
the 3D platformer games.
Mhm.
So we'll probably see
Yeah.
like sports games after the main ones. I'm really hoping they do Mario Tennis 64 and Mario Golf 64. To be honest.
We
Okay.
should just put
Two
Mario
best
Golf,
games.
but then like just put the courses in there or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm down with that.
Well,
Could
I
be.
mean, this is very, very exciting. The thing that kind of bums me out a little bit is that, from what I can tell from the top paragraph on Games Radar here, it's saying that the anniversary collection is, anniversary collection is going to come with Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, and then they plan on releasing 3D World as its own independent thing later down the line.
Sure.
What about Galaxy 2, man? What about Mario Galaxy 2?
I mean, you've got to do
skipped
one
over that.
before two. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if you
I
can just
understand.
put 2 out
Yeah.
there without
Okay,
putting it
Galaxy
out there.
2. Okay, but listen, Galaxy 2 came out before Mario 3D World, right? So why are they just skipping right
You know
over
what
it?
they should do is just get rid of Sunshine and put Mario Galaxy 2 on that.
Why does everyone
This-
hate
now-
Sunshine?
now you're
I love
Because it's a
Sunshine.
bad
Taylor,
game.
Taylor,
You're just a hater.
Sunshine
Y'all-
is bad. Andrew's right. They should just
Thank
swap
you.
out Galaxy 2. Yeah.
Why
sorry.
is Sunshine bad?
Ethan,
Play
you suck.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
It's the
Oh.
It's the DK64 of Mario.
Donkey
Oh, do you
Kong
know what, that's
64
fair.
was good.
Exactly. So now your point is just
Okay, actually, no.
opinion is just doesn't matter anymore.
All right, Mario Sunshine is a decent platformer, but as far as Mario
How-
games go, it just doesn't. It just
Okay.
it just
How
That sucks.
how is Donkey Kong 64 different than Banjo Kazooie?
I haven't played.
Oh,
It's
fine.
the same
I
game.
haven't played a lot of either of those games. I've
Yeah,
played
me
a
neither.
bit of them.
It's the same game. Like, yeah, you've got a companion.
No, but
that's
you're not
it.
switching constantly between Kongs because you're gated by some stupid thing. I have to
I
play
mean-
this trumpet on this trumpet pad. Oh wait, I'm not the right character. I better go get the correct character who has the trumpet. Who has the trumpet again? Oh right, that
That's the
character.
same.
Trumpet Kong
guys,
has the
guys.
trumpet.
It's the same thing. Then there's Chunky,
Guys.
who's dead. It's. Have
Nobody
any
even
of
cares about Rare. Hey,
Wait.
we're talking about Rare here. We're talking about Nintendo. Anthony, what's up?
have any of you seen that song? That's funny as the Donkey
Yes,
Kong.
I have.
Yeah, I know you
I
have,
showed
but like
you the
Andrew
song.
and Ethan, have you guys seen that song? The DK rap.
It's the Donkey
Where are they
60
now?
Donkey Kong 64 rap. Where are they now?
I think I did see this.
That's
a while ago.
hilarious. That's really
Okay.
funny.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
I've seen the
sorry.
Donkey Kong 64 rap before, but is it like a remix or something? Or...
Yeah, here I'll find it really quick.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
That's-
I'm personally okay with this lineup. I would buy it if they released it. Mario Galaxy games, and so is Mario Sunshine on GameCube.
Sunshine's good.
Thank you.
Uh,
And the story is so bad. I'm pretty sure Bowser and Peach are like.
not. I
They're
don't-
not in it.
It's
I don't
weird,
wanna
man.
I mean, Peach is
Yes,
in
they
it.
are.
In general, I don't care about Mario's story.
like
but the
Bowser-
fact that it has voice acting and it is
Oh, it's
terrible. The voice acting is the worst. Sean, you mentioned in the comments that the 100% reward for Sunshine is total VS. I never 100%ed that game because I didn't have the patience. What was the reward for
A
that?
postcard.
I'm pretty sure it's
I'm
the
curious.
implication that like Bowser Jr.'s mom is Princess Peach or something.
Yes, I know. That game's so weird. I don't know what to like it or to hate it. I think I hated it.
That's awesome.
It's not.
And like
But-
Flood like dies and they try to make it like
Sad.
emotional for this
Yeah.
like backpack to die. Like, what is happening?
Hey, Flood was amazing.
Oh my
It's
god.
just a backpack. It's just
I
a
think the problem
tool
is
for
that
Mario to
talks.
use.
It's,
The problem
it's
is that-
sentient.
The problem
It'd
is
be
that
like
Flood...
it'd be like if the Master Sword just died at the end of Zelda.
What's the difference between Flood dying or your cat dying?
There's a lot. That cat's a real thing. First
That's
of all,
cats and floods we're talking about. Okay,
I could just picture like 8-year-old Anthony just sobbing like when Flood died.
the problem is that Flood as a central mechanic brings the momentum of the game to a halt.
Yes.
Anytime you use Flood in air, it brings Mario slower and reduces your momentum.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
just a bad...
what happens when you use a gun while you're moving?
Well,
You slow down, do you not?
yeah, but
Yeah.
we're talking like Mario. Like I don't like stop. I'm
Do
moving.
you
Oh
slow
my
down in a
goodness.
first-person shooter? I don't think so. Real life rules don't apply to video games most of the time. I can't.
You know what, Ethan, this is actually the most well-constructed argument I've ever seen for criticism of Sunshine. So
And like
Well,
they,
thank you. I've
they
had a
literally
lot of time to think about it.
they
It
Yeah.
still
take away
sucks.
Flood, and they were like, there's levels without Flood, and those are bad too.
Those are
because-
bad too. They're
Yeah.
bad too.
Because you've been
Just
using
function-
flood the entire time, and then all of a sudden away.
I
But
disagree.
you're supposed to
And now
know-
we're just playing like a shittier version of Mario 64.
Right, and you're
Yes.
supposed to know like how he moves without flood, which is not, like it's.
Don't you love it when a game just pulls out the rug from under you? Like okay, total. This is a total aside. Like you know how in Bioshock, where there's this compass above your head that's supposed to direct you through the entire game, but then they take the compass away, and you're like, where do I go now? That's what Mario Sunshine feels like whenever they take the flood pack away. It's like,
Yeah.
what do I don't know what to do. This has
Yeah.
been my second TED Talk of the day. Thank you for coming.
You're doing well.
Let me
How much are you
guess.
getting paid?
Cheers.
Let me guess. You don't like Bioshock.
Oh, Bioshock's great. I love Bioshock.
Oh, shot's amazing.
Ethan.
Functionally and mechanically, I don't like Bioshock. Story-wise,
There you go. Your
the
opinion
world
is
design.
0.
Reversed it on you.
And now you just said something that invalidated your whole opinion.
Hey,
there.
Exactly.
Structurally and mechanically, I really like Bioshock Infinite a lot, and I like the first half of the story of Bioshock Infinite as well.
Yeah.
Am I redeemed?
No,
No.
because you
That's
don't
just-
like
I need to
Bioshock 1
replay
and 2.
Bioshock Infinite one of these days. Okay.
I have a feeling it's not as good as I remembered.
Yeah, probably.
It's great. I like it. I like that
I was
game
like,
a
I
lot.
don't know, I was like in, oh god, I was a sophomore in high school when that came out, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Speaking of Bioshock Infinite, this Mario collection had better be awesome, and I don't know what when Mario 64...
Mario Infinite Collection?
Oh yeah, the Bioshock collection is actually coming, which is kind of a cool thing. I wonder what Mario 64 Remastered is even going to look like. What are they going to put it in, like a new engine, or are they just going to put it in?
I mean, they made it.
Everything,
Go ahead.
would everything just be in like the Mario Odyssey engine at this
Ooh.
point?
I mean,
Well, not. You couldn't do Galaxy like that though.
No, probably not.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
So-
wait, okay, actually, no, that's a good point about Galaxy. What are they gonna do for like the whole like point the Wii remote to like collect stars as you're going about it?
You can use the
Don't they-
Joy-Con. You can use the Joy-Con.
I wanna-
But what if you're playing docked?
Switch
then-
Lite.
Handheld.
Switch Lite.
That's a good
Or
point.
undocked? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
They could.
Those are-
Shake the
Wait, now how do you
entire
control the
portable
camera in that game? I don't know.
In
Galaxy.
It just kind of followed you, from what I remember.
You couldn't
Yeah,
move
that's
it like on your own.
No, I think it just did a really good job of following you.
it
So
did do a pretty
theoretically,
good
you
job.
could have the like cursor on the right stick.
Oh,
It wouldn't be good, but
I want to drag it across the screen though. That's why I don't
Yeah.
play FPSs on a joystick.
yeah, it would
Yeah.
be slow. But
Look,
Super Mario Galaxy for
all-
PC. Come on.
yeah, right.
Right.
Legit though, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
I have a question. Have you guys ever tried? I'm a bad boy, and I got Mario 64 emulated on PC, but I couldn't get my gamepad to work. Have you ever tried playing Mario 64 with a keyboard?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a nightmare. It is.
Sounds like
It is just the worst. It is the worst thing you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, 3D platformers with a keyboard and mouse is pretty nightmarish.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Also, yeah, like updating Mario 64 with like a new camera would be interesting. Like, how would they?
Yes,
You
I
know.
was about to say that. That is probably the only thing I'll make is just make the camera usable.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Because the camera's.
Make it good.
That camera
Yeah.
was so good in that game.
I think it was good for the time, but now when you're like playing it and you can only like go at like
Yeah.
certain intervals, it's not great.
Oh, I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah. Ugh, yikes. Okay.
Dude, I hope they bring Mario Kart 64 to PC, to Switch as well.
Isn't that pretty much just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it has like everything ever in there?
They just put in like every level pretty much.
Yeah.
64 is better though.
There's the Mario Kart theory, which I really like, and it's whatever your first Mario Kart is your favorite Mario Kart.
That's the same with any game, really. Like, whatever
Yeah.
your first game
Yeah.
is in this series. Like, Donkey Kong 64 was my first Donkey Kong game. That's why I love
Oh.
it so much.
Explains a lot.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm a
Oh,
youngster,
okay,
so my
interesting.
first Mario Kart game was Mario Kart 8. That is my favorite.
That's
so-
fine. It's
That's
fine.
why, like,
It's a great game.
okay.
It's a good game though.
Taylor, what was your first Mario Kart?
It was Mario Kart Wii, and that's
Oh my
ironically
goodness.
my favorite. So, yeah,
Oh,
Wii was good
I'm
though.
sorry.
yeah. So
Wii was
maybe
good.
I played the
was
hell
good.
out of Mario Kart Wii. All right.
sorry.
Well, you know what? Hopefully.
Let's move on.
Well, hopefully no one was expecting this to release in April or May because, well, Yeah, that's not going to.
Well, they could just do it digitally and.
Maybe, but like unless
Possibly.
like development is completed on it, then
Oof.
Versus
Yeah.
S in this one.
Ultimately, let's not forget that there have been rumors of a Metroid Prime trilogy remake for years now. So
Yeah.
I mean, it might just not happen. I don't know.
well, you
This-
see,
this-
like
this could just
Metroid
be remade.
Prime is like the one child that Nintendo doesn't love at all. But Mario is like their star kid, like their honor student. So
That's fair.
you know, it's like if anyone was going to get an HD remake trilogy, it would probably be Mario over Metroid, even though the Metroid rumors have existed for a lot longer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's just the way it goes. You kind of get used to being abused by Nintendo if you're a Metroid fan.
I wish they would just put like GBA games on the Switch. Like,
Right though?
Can
Like
we
that'd
just
be
do that?
perfect. Love to play
Yeah.
Fusion on the Switch. That'd be really
Yeah.
good.
yeah, there's a lot of good GBA games.
Yeah. Mega
Pretty
Man
sure
Battle Network on the GBA.
Yeah. Man,
I gotta get a GBA.
all those Castlevania games.
I have two.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Oh, could you send me one?
good.
They're
You
both
should
like
get
beaten up.
an SP if you're gonna actually get one. That's like the perfect little
Yeah,
handheld,
like the foldable one.
folds.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
two of
Oh,
them.
really?
They're really
I
good.
would probably. I've been thinking about getting a DS Lite because that's.
Oh yeah, I guess you could just get the DSs because they have
Yeah.
like the ports for the GBA.
Get a
on it,
DS Lite because the DSi dropped the port.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
okay,
I
okay.
yeah. I've been thinking about that for a long while. I should do that.
Okay.
Can't believe
All
they
right.
got-
Well, you know what? Let's talk about a company that makes games for adults. Sony. Um,
Okay then.
nuclear bad take, I know. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Sony revealed the controller. Ethan, it's not called
Yeah.
DualShock.
No, it's not called DualShock, which makes me very, very. It trips off my OCD. I'm surprised this isn't the leading topic, but you know, whatever. It's not big deal. Sony revealed their new DualSense 5 controller. Could somebody link to that? Sorry, I wish I was logged in.
Yeah, it looks like a controller.
Yeah, it's indeed a controller. That's for sure. They didn't really. It's just they just revealed the design, which kind of I don't know, looks like a hybrid between the Xbox One and PS4 controller.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? That's what
No.
it looks like. They didn't reveal any new details about it. We already knew about the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. That's nothing new. Had they revealed that there was going to be a touchpad before?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason I don't know, I don't really view
Have
this as
they?
like really big news. Yeah, they did. I don't really think about this as really big news because like on the podcast we covered the patent filing for the controller, and
Oh yeah.
it was pretty much this. So that's
Oh,
why I was like,
really?
oh, I already knew about that. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I think the one thing that people have kind of been complaining about color scheme, which like doesn't worry me because they're gonna
What's
have
wrong with
a
the
lot
color
of
scheme?
other
Well, it's really cool.
Yeah, I reckon the color scheme
Yeah.
looks great as well.
I don't know. It looks fine. I just know that they're gonna release a bunch of colors regardless, so that doesn't concern me. at all.
Okay, so you are gaming. Okay, do you want just black everything?
Kind of.
Like, okay, so do you? If you own a Switch, you have cool, different colored Joy-Cons. So why can't the same be done for controllers?
Unless you're like me, who has the gray Switch with gray Joy-Cons.
You suck.
Not
So
wrong.
I don't know,
I
like
can't defend you.
a bit of color in the mix is nice. So white and black. Yeah, white and black looks cool. I think it looks great.
I don't think people are complaining about the inherently it having color. It's just the way the color is set up on the controller and the visual design and the contrast.
I
And
don't know.
just-
White is the new gamer look now. Like
I don't mind. I don't
it
mind.
used to be all black everything, but now it's like
Oh, there you go.
white is starting to come over. Yeah.
White
Again,
PS4
I don't
controller.
mind white. I just think it's the general.
Why though? Like, what's so bad
I
about
don't
it?
know. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't make this. People are complaining about it. I don't care. It's a controller. That's fine. Whatever.
The only issue I may have with it is the white being where it is. It's kind of similar to Ethan's point. But like sweat off your hands, like discoloring it. Obviously, you clean your controllers and
I was
stuff.
supposed to say wipe down your controller from time to time, my dude.
I know, but still, sometimes stains end up staining. It's like white clothing. You end up getting
Oh, okay.
stains on it occasionally, even though you wash your clothes every day. Stuff happens. So that could be. I would probably think it would look better if the white was where the the sticks are. But I mean, it looks. I think it looks cool. color scheme wise.
Okay.
Yeah, looks fine.
Yeah, no.
I hate that it still has a split D-pad.
Those are good. Okay,
Oh,
They're
those are
great.
actually good.
I'll fight you
Those
on
are-
that one.
Yeah,
They're
those are
great.
good.
The DualShock is the only like standard controller that's good for fighting games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you look at any
Yeah, like
this is not just me like saying it, but like if you look at any like tournament people who are playing on pads, if they're not playing on like aftermarket pads, they're playing on DualShock 4s.
like with
Makes
the
sense.
360 controller is similar to the Xbox One controller, but with that you can move it really easily. Whereas with the DualShock you can't because it's like singular. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. So you can kind of, with a 360 controller and an Xbox One controller, you can kind of get two movements in one down press because you can kind
Well, I've
of
always
move
heard like the
diagonally.
issue with the 360 stuff or like the Xbox controller has been just like the misinterpretation of movement or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you wanted to go left, but oh, it went down or
Yeah.
whatever because it's on a roller.
Yeah.
As opposed
What
to
you-
like the
it's just-
individualized buttons on
Yeah.
the DualShock.
I don't know.
I was really close to like taking a DualShock and like getting it modified so that
Breaking
each
down.
like D-pad button is its own like clicky button, so I could like
Nice.
do like really precise inputs on it,
Nice.
if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I
in-
gotcha.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
That's fair.
But
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I feel like this console generation in general has kind of screwed over the D-pad. Like the Switch Pro controller, that's probably the one weakness of it is that it doesn't have a good D-pad.
Sure.
Xbox, it's fine. PS4, listen, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the split D-pad thing. It doesn't work well for me.
Okay.
So, you want to know what had a good D-pad was the Wii U. The Wii U gamepad.
I was gonna bring that up. I think that one's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's-
pretty nice.
It's pretty nice for all the faults the Wii U had. Can we just get that D-pad back?
That was
please?
not one of them.
I feel like Nintendo is the only one who's done like ads really well. Last,
Yeah,
like
but then they
couple
s-
consoles.
yeah,
Then
but then
they-
they stopped. Then
Well, they had
stopped.
to for their idea what they were going for, right? I mean,
Right.
Yeah, and nobody does that anymore. But oh well, I do.
I mean, yeah, I wish the Switch had a D-pad too. Like,
Mhm.
you can buy these like modifiers or that will modify your Switch like Joy-Cons to be a D-pad.
I should invest in that. I should really.
But
do
I don't know how. You can also buy ones with D-pads on. So, but
Sure. Also true. Also true. I should really hop on that for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
So anyway,
although I don't know what games use D-pads really anymore for like Switch stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna play it Mario Odyssey with a D-pad.
The SNES
Definitely
and NES stuff use D-pads a lot.
That's true. Yeah. Like,
Oh yeah, I suppose.
like the Castlevania collection and the Contra
Yeah.
Like using a
Just
stick kind
flat.
of just feels wrong.
It feels terrible.
platformers in general. But one thing that also has me kind of excited about this is that it has a USB-C port. I don't know if that was revealed before, but
Yeah.
that's nice. Moving everything to USB-C is fine in my book.
Yes, it's good.
I would like one cable to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
Except for your phone, if you still use iPhone,
I use an iPhone. It's very annoying.
right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a good point. But yeah, I'm excited for the adaptive triggers. I don't know how that's gonna feel.
Nice.
But it sounds pretty exciting to me.
So the
Anyway,
Xbox,
I don't know.
the Xbox One kind of had adaptive triggers a little bit,
Mhm.
but nowhere near to this level. So this
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah, I
for-
mean that comes down to developers too. Like, oh, we're going to develop a thing for it,
Yeah.
and if they don't
Right.
develop a thing, then don't do whatever. It doesn't
So
matter.
I feel like adaptive triggers will be used more for racing games, like rally
Yeah.
games and whatever. So it'll be like give you feedback at least. I don't really see them being able to be used for anything else. I mean, shooters maybe, but I mean, a controller already like rumbles / vibrates for like when you're firing a gun.
You could do some cool stuff, probably like cinematically, like if you're pulling a trigger and like someone's scared or something,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
make it really like hard
Yeah.
or something
Or
like
you
that.
could like, you
Like-
could also kind of like finesse it so that it's just like your finger was kind of always at the break point on the trigger, and so if you
Mhm.
round a corner, oh, suddenly there's a guy, oh, just boom.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Or like,
And they mentioned like a bow, like pulling a bow back
Sure,
would be
sure.
like resistance or whatever. That's like the one they keep bringing up. I feel like.
that means Horizon Zero Dawn 2, right?
Oh,
You know?
for sure. Tomb Raider. all
Yeah.
that.
Last of Us as well.
Last-
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Last of Us
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
Is that why they delayed it? Because they really
an
want you to
interesting
use the
idea.
bow pull that thing? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Maybe.
Discord just
Well, maybe
went
not
to
just
hell.
for that. No. Probably not specifically for that one feature, but I wonder if since they're delaying it now, they won't just hold it off to be a PS5 or launch title.
Oh, maybe. Well, PS5 could be delayed too. We don't know yet.
I don't know. Nobody knows anything
Man,
at this point.
Everything.
People saying that it's gonna be delayed. I don't think it's gonna be delayed.
I mean,
Okay, so
we don't have to go down this, but like, sales are gonna not be as good.
Yeah.
If people can't go to stores, right? So
Yeah.
we've been down this as far as like shipment. So the console, both consoles probably won't get delayed, but it'll be like resource management, getting stuff shipped, getting parts shipped to assemble them, all this kind of stuff, because the world is shut down at the moment, so it might be a little difficult in that regard.
I mean, like movies are not being released because people can't go to movie theaters. So like, I think it's similar. Like, they might just delay it so that because I can't go to Best Buy and pick up like a thing.
No, look, come on, the PS5 is essential.
Yes, just like
Yes,
GameStop.
100%. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like GameStop.
Okay,
I'm
so
joking, by the way.
yeah, this is gonna be like really haptic centric controller that we've talked about quite a bit before. It's gonna be similar but different to the DualShock line, and then with the PlayStation 6, we'll probably have the DualSense 2, right?
The
Really?
TriSense.
Yeah.
TriSense. QuadSense, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so anything else to say about the controller? Oh, actually, I got something really quick. So, end the debate once and for all: the inline stitch setup or the staggered stitch setup?
It's fine either way.
I don't think it
get
matters,
used
to
it.
be honest.
I get
Yeah.
used to
Oh,
it.
okay.
I get used to it.
Only way I get confused is when because I usually play on a PS4 controller. Is like if I plug it into my PC and it's giving me Xbox things, and I'm like, wait, which one is the A button? Like, so sometimes that's the only thing that trips me
Metal
out.
Gear Solid 5 is really bad about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I might
wanna
go staggered, I think, because my thumb naturally rests on the D-pad
Okay.
for the PS4 controller. So if the stick was up there, which is like what it is on the 360 controller, it would be a little bit natural. So that's the only reason why I would say staggered.
You want to know what really screwed me over? Whenever they released Dark Souls Remastered on Switch, that game was programmed with an Xbox controller in mind, but they never changed the button positioning around. So you have to press B to select and A to go back. You cannot change that in Dark Souls Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. So that's how I played that game for 120 hours. Whenever I eventually got Dark Souls 3 on PC, it was so dead set in my memory that I had to intentionally go in and change the settings so that I was playing the same way.
Yeah. It's like the
Damn.
a lot of like old Japanese, like PlayStation 1 Japanese games were like that, where like circle was go forward and X was go back. So like as a kid, you're like playing Metal Gear Solid, like what? I'm pressing X and nothing is happening. It's like, oh, you have to press circle. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Try playing. Oh man, you want to have a good time. Try playing an original PS1 game on emulator on PC, rewiring the controls with a Switch Pro controller. That's how I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and it was a nightmare, man.
There are so many ways you could play that game that are cheap.
It was before all the remasters came out. It was
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dolphin emulator works really, really well. That Smash Brothers GameCube adapter that they have. So it's just like, oh yeah, it's really easy. You just like plug and play GameCube controller into your PC with Dolphin emulator.
Easy enough. Huh.
Yeah.
And they have like online servers for that and stuff too. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Still play Metroid Prime 2 online.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So moving right along. Speaking of Nintendo, we were just talking about Nintendo emulator and Nintendo controllers a little bit. Let's talk about the Switch.
Yes. So sad news for people in Japan, and I think this is going to affect the rest of the world as well, and it already isn't to some degree. The Nintendo Switch shipments are currently suspended in Japan due to the coronavirus. Nintendo has halted domestic Switch shipments due to a production delay caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, but international shipments remain unaffected for now. Nintendo has suspended Switch and Switch Lite shipments in Japan, as Nikkei reports, which is okay. The company has been unable to keep up with growing demand for the Switch due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused delays in the system's production. Nintendo noted back in February that the COVID-19 pandemic would impact Switch shipments in Japan, according to a Nintendo source quoted by the K. Operations at the Switch production factories have recovered to a certain point but are not yet back at full capacity. Nintendo didn't provide a timeline for when Switch shipments would resume in the region. The K notes that this suspension only applies to Japan. Nintendo will continue shipping Switch systems to other parts of the world, including North America and Europe, as normal. The Switch has similarly been in high demand overseas, especially since social distancing measures have been enacted to slow the spread of the coronavirus. The console has been repeatedly selling out at retailers across the US, causing its price to skyrocket on second-hand markets. Nintendo acknowledged the stock shortages. Nintendo Switch hardware is selling out at various retail locations in the US, but more systems are on the way, the company said in a statement to GameSpot. We apologize for any inconvenience if you're looking to pick one up but have been having trouble finding one. We've been tracking everywhere you can buy a Switch right now. So that's off GameSpot's site.
Yeah.
Thoughts? There's nothing really to add to this, I guess.
I mean, it makes sense. Japan just now got around to declaring a state of emergency. The virus and everything the past couple days. That was on Tuesday this week.
Yeah.
For some prefectures, kind of the most populous prefectures around there. So, kind of makes sense that there's just starting to take measures against it, because it was not ever as bad there as it was in other countries, and so.
I don't know. We've already been down the whole delaying console thing, so this is kind of to be expected. I'll probably expect to see some delays as well for Western countries like America, Australia, Europe as well, because they're already starting to sell out there. So yeah, see what happens, I reckon.
Okay. I don't know. This has some sort of insight into how Nintendo handles logistics. This kind of implies that Nintendo Japan handles the Japanese distribution of their stuff and everything, but then Nintendo North America might handle Europe and North America distribution of stuff. So I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does anybody else have?
Hopefully, no one in Japan wanted a Switch.
Or a Switch Lite.
Who would want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have something else to go over as well, which is also kind of small-ish, I guess.
Sure.
So this is relating to the next-gen consoles. CD Projekt Red says the full-blown next-gen Cyberpunk 2077 won't be a launch game for next-gen, obviously. Intends to release a proper full-blown next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077, but it won't be an Xbox Series X and PS5 launch game. In February, the company confirmed its support for the Series X cross-buy scheme Smart Delivery, which lets players buy a game once and play it across multiple Xbox generations. Gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades, the Cyberpunk Twitter account said. However, speaking during an earnings call this week, CD Projekt Red's SVP of Business Development, Michael Nowakowski, I think, suggested that separate, significantly enhanced versions of the game will also be released for next-gen consoles, but that it won't be a launch title for Series X and PS5. A CD Projekt Red spokesperson has clarified that the full-blown next-gen version Nowakowski referred to is the previously announced Series X upgrade. This is confusing. So that's
okay. So what's going on is with Cyberpunk 2077 is that they're gonna have backwards compatibility immediately from the get-go. So it's so you bought Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One when it came out and whatever, and then you got a Series X or whatever, you would be able to play Cyberpunk on the Series X, so you didn't have to keep your Xbox One around to play that.
Awesome.
And then this one is referring to, they're going to do a full next-gen port of the game, so it's we're able to take advantage of the hardware and whatnot of the next gen. I'd probably imagine they'll come after all the expansions are either planned or outright, just do one big version on next gen.
I have
Probably.
a
Wow.
quote from the guy. In terms of Microsoft's console, like I said, we have officially confirmed both the update and cross-gen availability, meaning that you'll be able to play the game from the get-go on next gen. However, when it comes to a proper full-blown next-gen version, that's going to come later. We haven't announced when, and I don't have a new comment here on that, but a patch will be available to everybody who purchases the Xbox One version here, and now from the get-go. Once that update is live, they'll be able to download that free of charge. That's the announcement we have officially made, and again, I cannot really comment on the policies of the first parties before they officially announce them. There's no official announcement coming from PlayStation, so we really can't confirm or deny anything, he added. It's PlayStation that first needs to address these issues, and then we'll happily make a comment, but we can't jump the gun ahead of them. During the end call, Nowakowski also reiterated that CD Projekt feels comfortable it's on track to hit the game's September release date. However, working from home and the closure of recording studios due to the coronavirus pandemic has held up the localization process, meaning some voice work might have to be added to CD Projekt Cyberpunk 2077 on launch in a launch day patch.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the big thing I've heard that's like disrupting stuff with the closures is that like sure a lot of can be done at home and whatnot, but like the voice acting thing is the big one where it's like you better hope you don't need new lines because
Yeah.
Or you better hope that that voice actor has a in studio at their house, like a studio.
Yeah.
Story expansions will also be announced before the game's release, apparently.
Okay.
Interesting. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't say in the article what is the game's release. Does it say here, or am I just missing it?
September
September.
26th is my guess.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look at it.
Could be very wrong.
It is in September sometime.
Yeah.
2099.
Or what is it September? I thought it was August.
He says September in here.
September 17th. That's
17. Okay, that was close.
That's what's on
Likelihood of
Friday.
that getting pushed back again? What would you guys say?
No.
Probably 0.
I won't get pushed back because they say
probably
that
0.
they say it's on track. So
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
what they
I
may,
don't know. Worst case scenario, a few things aren't voiced, right?
I think
If they delay it anymore, they'll be in trouble.
what
Yeah.
they may do is like release the game and then patch it like a week or two after because it's going to be a large game. Yes, people will run through it quickly, but I feel like the majority of players probably won't get those voice lines until like a few weeks after release. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So like release it
Yeah.
without the voices and then patch it once they get the recordings done. That could work.
I mean, you can always release a game without like a certain language and like patch that in and like a couple days.
That might
later.
piss some people off, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's happened before, right? Like,
Yeah, it has.
So
I don't know. It could be that they're missing like English voice lines or anything. I don't
well,
know.
they're probably recording in English. It's just like they said localization, right? So it's probably all in different. I don't know what languages, but different languages. I'm assuming.
Sure.
Oh gosh, I watched the No Clip documentary on the on Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Danny O'Dwyer did, and they did an entire episode on localization and how CD Projekt Red handles that. And like, I found it really interesting because it's not just translating; it's also making sure that all the dialogue fits within the context and the censorship and all this other stuff you got to worry about.
Sure.
I would recommend if this sounds interesting, go watch that No Clip video. It's pretty fascinating.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you should never do a direct translation of something.
Oh,
Like,
no.
rarely does it ever work out.
Gonna get in trouble there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm of the mindset that with the whole, like, Corona thing, it'll be over quite soon, honestly. I think things later in the year are pretty safe now. So,
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Andrew, you gave me a skeptical smile as if.
I
this
mean,
guy's crazy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure schools have been. I mean, where I live are closed for like the entire year and stuff like that. So just,
Oh, okay.
I don't
the
know.
entire rest of the school year, right? I can't imagine, like, also closing the fall semester, too.
Yeah, I've heard that
Oh,
they're
okay.
just done for this year, pretty much.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Those are
Mine
like,
was supposed
those aren't like colleges, obviously.
Okay.
Taylor,
was
we're
gonna
all
do
gonna die.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
Thanks for the update, Anthony. Mine is only doing.
That was a
online
comment, so
classes
why
over
not?
the summer. So
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're saying here for businesses, they're going to reopen in July. Like every business will be
Jesus.
reopened
Yeah,
in
that
July.
sounds about when people will start opening. If they open.
I read this. I don't know. I read this thing that it's like Texas is gonna open up next week.
Yeah, you said the magic word of Texas, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You know, the world's 11th largest economy.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
How do you
I mean, I live in California, which is probably a bigger economy than Texas, but they're still closed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're still closed, but you can like do a lot of like people are smart and they're figuring out ways how to get you a thing that if you want it, right?
Sure.
Like I can now order online, go to the place, pick up my online order, and just walk away.
I feel like after this, like coronavirus is gone, like yes, it'll probably come back every year, much like the flu does. But I'm saying I feel like things will probably be more convenient for a lot of people because I feel like a lot of businesses will probably be like, hey, well, we can do this now. It's like prime example is like McDonald's here sells milk now and like bread and stuff.
Sure.
And they're going to keep doing that. So like if you need a bottle of milk rather than going to a supermarket order, just get it from Macca's. So I mean, some things will probably be a lot more convenient for a lot of people. I feel like
That's pretty nice.
whatever.
Coronavirus.
Well, you know what?
Well,
Speaking of coronavirus,
Oh Lord.
there is this absolutely bizarre conspiracy theory
I have
going
something to add to
around.
this too.
going around that the 5G cell towers and everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There is this absolutely bizarre conspiracy theory going around that coronavirus is caused by the 5G signal that's being broadcast from these towers.
Of
As a
course it is.
result, this has particularly happened in Britain so far.
Not the
There have
5G.
been 5 5G towers lit on fire and destroyed, and multiple telecom engineers assaulted.
Dang.
Also, yeah.
I'm not laughing at that. I was laughing at that.
Yes.
There
This article's coming to us from BBC News, where they refer to the tower as masts, by the way, because they are Britons and they do that. There have been fires at masts in Birmingham, Liverpool, Melling. A video allegedly of the blaze in Idberth was shared on YouTube and Facebook, claiming a link between the mobile technology and COVID-19. Cabinet Officer Minister Michael Gove said it was a dangerous nonsense. The Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sports said on Twitter, there's absolutely no credible evidence of a link, while the trade body Mobile UK said such rumors and conspiracy theories were concerning. Merseyside Police said an investigation is underway after the telecoms bots in Idberth caught fire on Friday. A video of what appears to be the incident, which happened shortly after 10 p.m., was shared on YouTube. Verification from the BBC's disinformation team suggests the video is authentic. However, it is unclear whether bots has anything to do with 5G technology. If it's the video I'm thinking of, then it literally does have 5G printed on the back. So, interesting. Verification from I already read that. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? That's pretty much it. People are arsoning the 5G masts and everything because of the theories going around of it.
I was
Andrew,
gonna mention the chemtrail thing.
Andrew mentions in the chat, don't forget the chemtrail spreading COVID-19, and then after that, the 5G activates it.
Okay.
Hell
Also,
yeah.
when did we get an emote of Matt's face? That took me off guard.
Like 2 years ago.
A while ago.
I haven't seen it. Woo.
It's rarely used. It's okay.
Okay. Woo. Got me good.
So, people be crazy.
Apparently.
Is there a
What the
5G
heck?
tower in your area?
Me? You cut out there. Probably. Where?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know how those things work.
So there was I keep forgetting the name of this. What's it called? I don't know why I keep forgetting this. Where people sign something like to
A
not
petition.
petition. There you go. I keep thinking a petition's a poll for some reason.
Okay.
There was a petition going around here in Australia that had like 400,000 signatures
Oh, okay.
to halt the 5G rollout, like in Australia, because of coronavirus.
Because of this?
Yeah,
Oh,
because of
wow.
coronavirus, because they're saying that it causes flu symptoms and blah blah blah.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, okay, believe that, no worries. I highly doubt the government's going to listen to them though, which is good. I feel like a couple more tests could be done on 5G, but aside from that, like, if anything, it's going to cause cancer. It's not going to cause flu symptoms. I mean,
Well,
I don't care if it gives me cancer, just as long as Reddit loads faster on the train, okay?
oh my God.
Like, honestly, that's my stance.
I mean, everything gives us cancer these days, so what?
Right.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
hey, you know, it's like they say in La La Land. It'll get you, you know, you're gonna die sooner, but at least you get where you're going.
Nah,
Yeah.
you gotta die of something. Come on.
True. So yeah, please, for the love of God, do not set the 5G masts on fire. They do not cause coronavirus.
How
don't.
many of these did they burn down? What happened?
There's
to
like
them?
5 total so far.
Jeez.
There's more though in the US and stuff, isn't there?
I haven't heard of one in the U.S. I've only heard of Britain.
I mean, I don't know if it even burned down, but there's probably more of those in the US.
Significant damage.
Yeah.
So people,
So yeah, just
people
don't
are
burn
cray
your
cray.
5G. Yeah. So it was a kind of a funnish little story found there, kind of tech related, right? Yeah. I think that'll about wrap it up here in terms of the news and everything. Yeah, kind of a dry gaming news week, but yeah. And it looks like next week probably won't be any different, to be honest. So we might talk about format changes for next week before the next podcast. But we'll see what happens. Give it like Monday, Tuesday. Anyway, Anthony, what games are coming out this next week?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
All right, fine.
Fantastic. There, yeah, this is.
Final
Interesting.
Fantasy VII does not exist. Everyone, you.
Oh,
Isn't
funny
What?
day. It's funny
Isn't that
day
already
today in
out?
Animal Crossing.
Wait.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
coming out Friday?
That's already out. It came
That
out.
came out yesterday.
Yeah, April
Or
10th.
Thursday. Depends where you live.
April 10th. It
Okay.
came out for
Oh yeah,
PS4.
my bad.
Anyway, Bunny
Yeah,
Day
no,
and
that's
Animal
it.
Crossing?
Funny day in Animal Crossing. Don't forget
Okay.
Andy. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Alright, so Ethan, where can the good people find you on Twitter then, if there are no games coming out?
You can find me. I don't know. Okay, let's clarify here. If you are looking for the kind of joy that a brand new game will get you, I cannot provide that. Nonetheless,
Okay.
you can find me on Twitter, tweeting about random movies and games that I've watched or seen. At Linkachuchu, that's LINKACHUCHU.
And also, bad but short takes on movies and video games.
Ooh, well, all the bad takes, Nothing else.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, Anthony, how about you?
You can find me at SameAntman19 on Twitter. I don't tweet at all. I do the site's social media stuff though. And I don't even know. Okay, fine, whatever. I do the site's social media stuff. I'm doing like posting all our content to Twitter. We run some giveaways. We do bits and pieces over on Twitter and Facebook and whatever. Yeah, so you can find me there if you want to get in contact with me through the site stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Andrew.
Yeah,
Alright,
you guys
good people.
can find me Twitter, Instagram, Duronsky, DURONSKI. Cut out again, it's fine. So yeah, go over there. I tweet sometimes and make fun pictures and all that good stuff.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Inferius7809. That is at INFERIUS 7809 for all sorts of different stuff. What was the last thing I tweeted anyway? I don't even know.
There's some assault going on. In the
What's up?
There's some
Sean
assault
and-
happening.
Sean and Andrew are going off at each other.
Okay, as you do. Let's see, last thing I tweeted was
That's funny.
talking about rating animes. Okay, excellent.
That sounds on brand.
Yeah, right?
Definitely on brand.
I don't know what else you expected, so anyway. Yeah. So anyway, Yeah, well, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside. Because the sooner y'all stay inside, sooner that we can go back outside again. I don't know, right?
Sure.
That
It's
makes
true.
sense.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's
have
true.
said it better myself.
Yeah, life will get back to normal eventually. Hang in there, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.